Welcome back to Let's Play Capo 2. Man, I always seem to never be really in the mood when it comes to recording, usually. I'm just kinda like, can't be arsed, but Dave upload, so let's get this show on the road again. I just woke up on my own for some reason. Looking at the alarm clock, the time I set it for was still a ways off. I don't feel very sleepy though. Weird. Maybe I slept too much yesterday. I sat up in bed and let out a big yawn. Ah, that's right. You may slept here last night. She sure did look happy as she slept. She was holding the futon like a hug pillow. Her pajamas were a bit curled up too, man. Seeing her revealed skin and lying around defenseless like that in the morning wasn't good for my sanity. I didn't even pause through that. It's just like, that's the problem with me. It's just like, yeah, I can read and all that, but I just don't pause in between, do I? Well, I do, but usually, like, a lot of times I don't. I don't know how that keeps happening, man. It's a bit annoying. She's letting her guard down too much. I really want to tease her a bit, but I'll hold off on that. I think I just did it again there. There's no telling what she'd do if she found out. Alright, I guess I'll go make some breakfast for my cute little sister. You're still going on about that. I got out of bed and quietly snuck out of the room so I wouldn't wake Yume. Huh? She's back! When I got to the kitchen, I saw someone that hadn't been around for a while. You're back already, Otome? For some reason, she twitched in surprise and then she turned around. Good morning. Yeah, I just woke up by myself. I'll help you out with that. What's going on? The conversation seems so stiff. Maybe it's because we haven't seen each other for a while? Nah, that's no good. We haven't talked for a while either. Roger that. I turned on the heat under the pot next to Otome. Then I put the ingredients in the pot. Alright, Otome, where did you guys go? You went out with Junichi-san and Sakura-san, right? Or maybe it was somewhere you didn't want to talk about? I looked at Otome to see if she felt uncomfortable, but she didn't show any expression at all, really. It's just, you know, plot related, but you don't need to know about that. It seemed like talking about it was painful for Otome. I couldn't help but wonder what it was, but I didn't want to force her to answer. What about Sakura-san? Did she come home together with you? Well, Sakura-san had been out and about since New Year's or so. I guess maybe she wanted to take a break. We sure made up, but I wasn't quite sure how to explain the rest. I couldn't say that she was sleeping in my room right now, that would... What typical timing. I can't believe how shocking this girl's timing is. You may try to change the subject. Well, of course. Otome was smiling, but the veins were popping out of her forehead. No, that's We weren't sleeping together. Having said that, Yume ran away towards the bathroom. Hey, Yume, wait! Do I have to deal with this myself? In addition to her short tone, I could feel her hand firmly on my shoulder. Yes? Cold sweat started running down my back. Quick, I need an excuse. Maybe an explanation would be better. Her voice was suddenly really gentle. Eh? When I turned around, Otome was smiling. She sounded really calm and gentle, but somehow it felt like she was forcing herself to smile. Well, you know how it is, Yoshiki. It seems every girl fancies you, so when they find out you're already taken relationship-wise, it's just like, wow, shit. At least that's what it looked like to me. Makes no sense though, really, does it? I think the Anzu one made the least amount of sense. As soon as lunch break started, Tanaka showed up at our classroom door. She looked at me and smiled. Ah, me? She tilted her head in a cutesy way. Nope, not really. I hadn't promised Yuma or anything, so... But as soon as I was about to step out of the classroom, I spotted Yume. She was peeking in through the door like she couldn't decide whether to go in or stay in the corridor. Could this be... What? What? This is like literally the last choice in the walkthrough, but I can't remember what the answer was. I'm pretty sure it was talk to her, but man, I'll have to actually double check here so that I don't screw it up. Yeah, obviously talk to her. I imagine leaving her alone would probably lead to a bad end of some sort. And while I could probably check that out, I'm not going to. Yeah, I guess. If Yume came to my classroom, she probably wanted something. Also, if I ignored her, she might chew me out about it later. Well then. Hey, Yume! I called out to Yume from behind. Yume cried out like she had burned herself on something and turned around. What are you doing? Did you want something? Looks like she's trying to get me to say something. As if you'd randomly pass by in all yours classrooms. Yume quickly turned around. We were going to go have lunch. Would you like to come with us? If Yume had a tail, she'd be wagging it. Looking a bit shy, she turned around. That doesn't make sense. You know, I think I've said it before. Like, when it's just like, I think it was in this LP as well, just like, something along of, the more the merrier, and I'm just like, no, the more the noisier. Well, seeing that, Yume's mouth made a big smile of relief. Although not nowadays. Seems like, anytime, like, I always see, like, images of, like, people just, like, sat around, like, a group of people out at a restaurant, or just eating somewhere, a bunch of friends, but they're all on their phones the whole time. You know, the bird is certainly loud, isn't he? Yeah, but which one should I pick? I'm tired of both Kitsuna-don and Katsuron. Whenever lunch is one of the most important and fun times of student life, after all. You have to be sure to stay within your budget while ending up satisfied. After all, this is what will keep you alive through afternoon classes. Well, it's not like if you skip one freaking school day's lunch, it's going to freaking end your life because of afternoon classes. I guess, I just wish there was some more variety to the menu. Maybe it's just because there's a lot of variety at home. I guess there would be too many people asking for random stuff if they had a bigger menu. Well, I could, I guess. It's just a pain to make all that stuff for just one person. It's too bothersome to make lunch for myself. In any case, it's easier to just buy lunch in the cafeteria. Nanako was smiling happily at me. Oh, so that's what you were after? Well, that'd make me happy. Anyway, I'll go for tempura today. I put my money in the machine and got my meal ticket. Hey, big news! There's been an accident at the school gates. For like, how many times has that happened now? Really? Was it a car crash or something? Yeah, and a bunch of police cars are on the way. Can't you tell how concerned and shocked I am? The cafeteria erupted into a buzz at the sudden news. No, it's a bit different in this case though, isn't it? Usually it goes to dramatic music, but it's still got the carefree, just like upbeat music. It's just like, we've seen this shit before. It's just the gates, who gives a shit? The fun atmosphere surrounding lunch dissipated little by little. Well, it hasn't dissipated yet, the music's still there. A car accident, huh? There's been an increase in accidents and incidents since the start of the new year. I think people need better driving lessons, even if we didn't notice it. Later that day, we heard that luckily no one had been hurt in the crash, but no one had any clue how it happened. It was still cold outside. As soon as I stepped outside the school, the cold wind made me shiver. You know, I just randomly thought of Higurashi there for a second. Well, just like, there is it's a bit too much of a spoiler to mention it, but I can totally kind of relate to a certain character in Higurashi now, because it's just like, we go through the same scenes essentially, just different kind of, like, perspective, like it's focusing on a different character, but you still get some of the same scenes, and you're just like, here we go again. Oh, winter evening, huh? It sure was cold outside. It feels like we're at the start of the whole thing again, isn't it? Quite nostalgic. When I was just past the school gates, I heard Yume, and she sounded a bit angry. She was leaning against the gatepost and puffing out little white clouds of breath. Sorry, were you waiting out here all this time? Yume breathed on her hands to warm them up, then stared at me in protest. You shouldn't have stood around out here. Then. You could have just called me on my phone. Anyway, isn't it dangerous to stand around here? You know, if it was me, I'd just be like, you could have texted me or something. If you phone me, I probably won't answer. I always do that, usually. If anyone calls me on my phone, I just like, usually because they're not very far away, so I just go to the room that they're in. I much prefer to just, text. It makes it much easier. I just check it, I don't even reply back usually, but it's just like, yep, Noted. Anyway, isn't it dangerous to stand around here? I mean, there was a car accident around here during lunch. There were some fresh skid marks still left on the asphalt. It looked like the car had scrapped against the wall too. That's right, what if something like that happened again? Of course I was. She didn't look upset at all anymore. No, she was just smiling happily. I can just imagine her doing something completely risky that, like, endangers her life, and then just like when Yoshiki says that he was worried sick about it, she's just smiling all smug and just like, yeah, just like, you idiot, you don't do that shit. She sure changes mood pretty quickly. So, should we go home? Yume, who was walking a bit ahead of me, turned around. Should we buy some juice from that vending machine? Huh? Yume once again looked a bit displeased. Sorry, even if you say that. Get what? Well, there's juice in that vending machine, so... She puffed up her cheeks in protest. Vic, why would you say that? I mean, it's true, but why would you say that? Uh-oh, I guess she's angry. If you want to say something, you should just say it. Oh, even I didn't get that one. It's like, what the hell is she talking about? Just like, oh, I see now, he wants to go to a cafe. You know, I honestly kind of feel kind of like similar to Yume in these kind of things. In that, you just like, I tend to say things in a very vague kind of way, and somehow expect other people to be able to understand what I'm trying to get across, which rarely tends to happen, honestly, but it's just a habit. I don't know why she suddenly started blushing. It was the face of a Yume who was embarrassed having to be so straightforward. Uh-oh, she looked like she's about to cry. Okay, let's go on a date. I was feeling really embarrassed too, but I still felt really good about it. It wasn't bad in any way. What's up? Yume stood in place and looked at the ground. Still looking at the ground, she was talking so quietly that it was almost a whisper. Man, this girl just can't be honest with her feelings. I really love it when Yume acts like this too. Alright, let's go. I took Yume's hand and held it tightly. Yume also held my hand tightly, even though she looked a bit reserved about it. My heart skipped a few beats again. I'd held Yume's hand a bunch of times before, but this was the first time it made my heart beat this fast. And man, this is just because we're holding hands. Maybe it's because we're actually going out now. Well, gee, you think? We're not really doing anything special, but it feels like we're actually showing off that we're lovers to our surroundings. I couldn't help but think about how much I loved her. That's why... Hey, Yume. I was just wondering, if you want to do something, could you be a bit more straightforward about it? You know, kind of just like, not very good at picking up on these things. We're going out and stuff, and I just want to do all I can do to grant any wish you may have. I tried to make you understand how I felt, but... Yume whispered words disappeared into the chilly night air. And while she said that, she gripped my hand even tighter. Oh well, I guess it's fine. Looked like I still had a ways to go before this shrew could be tamed. I should probably go to sleep. Nah, I'll just read until the next chapter. That'll be a good point to stop at. You know, that's always the case, isn't it? Just like, okay, another chapter, then bed. Then you read through the whole frickin' thing. Or if it's like, just one more episode, you watch the whole frickin' thing. Just like, I'll just play, like, this game up till this point. Play through most of the game, and then sleep. It happens quite often. But then I might read all the way to the end and have trouble getting up tomorrow. Exactly. And if I keep on reading even more, I might end up hardly getting any sleep. I guess this is what I get for starting to read something right before going to bed. Yume, I'm still up. Yume opened the door and showed up in her pajamas. What are you up to at this hour? You know, that's always a reply you get, I notice. Anytime you ask someone, so what's up? And they'll always reply, not much. They could, like, just, like, be someone that you haven't seen in a while, and suddenly they've got, like, casts on both arms, and just, like, a bandage around their head, just like, so what have you been up to? Not much. Not much? What the hell happened to you? Nothing special, really. Wait, didn't you go back to your house? Otome is back home and all. I'm pretty sure she went back with Otome after dinner, but... She sounded a bit angry. No way, of course not. I mean, we're dating. I'd like to spend as much time with her as possible. But since I kind of lost my valid reason to stay in the same house as her when Otome returned, I don't think I could sleep together with you with a clear conscience right now. Oh, about what? It's because of the plot, I know. Otome, huh? I then remembered the way Otome had been acting earlier. It wasn't that different from what I'd expected her to say, but she did seem to come across as a bit uncomfortable. Well, they always say that's what she does a lot. Now that you mention it, it did feel that way. Yume anxiously fiddled with her hair. Maybe she's just tired. It was a pretty long trip after all. Maybe she'll be all better tomorrow. But that's not going to be the case. Yume replied like she didn't really think that was it. I guess she's still a bit worried. Well, if you're concerned, we should just ask her tomorrow. We won't figure anything out by sitting around here and talking amongst ourselves. Yeah, but the issue with that is she'll pretty much just push it off. She'll just be like, oh no, I'm fine, don't need to be worried. Having said that, Yume just sat there and looked at me. Time kept passing by. We didn't have anything left to talk about, but she didn't seem to want to leave that spot. Hey, weren't you going home? We looked each other in the eyes. Yume mumbled as if she was really embarrassed to say it. Hey, wait! I called out to Yume, who was trying to get up way too fast. I jumped out of bed and walked over to her. And then... our lips met. Another light kiss. The soft touch of her lips made my head feel all fuzzy. Or maybe it's because you got up too fast as well. We stood there for several seconds. When our lips parted, Yume made a little noise like she could finally exhale. Her face looked like it was about to boil over. Yume slammed the door shut and escaped down the stairs. She's so innocent. If anyone had seen Yume's face as she ran off, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't been able to tell what she was going on. Wait, sure they wouldn't been able to tell what was going on. They're a very nosy pair, aren't they? You know, half the time, man, again, only one part could be out of that. It's because when I record, I check the time, and then I check the time towards the end, and I'm just like, surely that's gonna be a good amount of time, maybe 2 parts. Just the one, it feels like time just kind of slows down, but speeds up. It's weird. But, honestly, when it comes to like long recordings, I prefer to be more in the mood for recording, and I'm just not really in the mood to like extend it, like, so it'll be like an hour or so, you know. Maybe I'll do that, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. If I actually recorded on the day where I didn't need to actually upload, maybe then I could potentially get some more recording in. But for today, that'll do. So I shall see you next time, viewers. For when the nosy duo continuously pests Yoshiyuki about his relationship with Yue, I imagine. So see you next time, viewers. See you next time.